What are the best practices for acknowledging a grantor that gives you a grant? Today, we're going to talk about the three areas within which to focus as you're thinking about acknowledgement and thanking the funders. I'm Benjamin Dean from grantgetting.com. I hope you enjoyed this video and others like it on the channel, which are aimed at helping you get more grants. Area number one, personalized, individualized, private communications. This would be a prompt and personalized thank you letter from you as the grant writer, you as an executive director or the executive director, from the board to the organization, specifically, if possible, to a person. This is one of the simplest but most powerful ways to acknowledge a grantor. Just sending a prompt and personalized thank you letter. This letter should go out within days, if not hours, of receiving the grant of any size. Make sure it's not generic. You want to reference specific parts of your project that were in the application that their funding will support. Let them know how grateful you are for their belief in your mission, their belief in your program, and of course, keep it professional, but don't be afraid to let your personality and passion shine in these letters. A thank you letter can set the tone for a long-term positive relationship. You would be shocked how many organizations do not do this. New organizations typically forget, and many times growth-oriented organizations are just too busy. Money's coming in, and they're so grateful for it, but they are focused on growth, on staffing, on programs, on putting out fires, that the processes are not in place. So everything should be process focused in any organization if possible. But of course, even when there's a process that involves a personalized aspect to it, you can still have prompts to yourself, reminders to yourself to do it. I like to think about them as arcs of activity. If this, then that. If this in the future, then this to come towards it. What are the things that need to happen before a grant application is submitted? What are the things that need to happen after it is received? It's the same style of thinking. It's the same type of project management, process management that's needed. So, number one, personalized communications. So, a letter from an individual that was involved in the grant, the executive director, the board, or from the executive director and the board of directors with everybody's signature on it. Oh, even better. A phone call. Pick up the phone and make a call. It doesn't matter if that person answers or not. Hi, I'm looking for Mrs. Johnson, the grants administrator for XYZ Foundation. This is Benjamin, and I just wanted to say a quick thank you to her. Oh, she's not available. No problem. Just pass along this note. No need to call back, but I just wanted to say thank you. Hang up the phone, write the letter, send it, and then finally, you can send an email as well. Email is probably the most impersonal. If you have developed a relationship with someone in that organization, even if it is not the president or the board chair or whatever of that foundation, if it's just, the person who's administering the process and you have their cell phone number, send them a text message. Hey, just got the letter. We're so excited. Just wanted to send a quick thank you. We'll formally acknowledge everything over email and get you back your contract. Just wanted to say we're stoked. Thank you so much. Of course, texting can be somewhat more impersonal, or excuse me, not impersonal, very personable, but more casual. Okay. So that's number one. This is an area. So any other way that you can think about personalizing things, I've seen um, pictures being sent right away, where you have a physical check that has been written. I've seen one time an organization who covered up the part of the check with the routing numbers and bank account numbers and things like that. But they had three of their team members all holding the check, giving thumbs up, took a picture of it, printed it, put it in a thank you card, sent it away. Awesome. Extremely memorable. Okay, so before we go to number two, why are we doing this? Well, it's the right thing to do. Somebody just gave you a gift. You should thank them. This is just common courtesy. But of course, you are developing a relationship. You are setting yourself up for a positive relationship throughout the granting term. And you're also always thinking about additional grants from that organization or from other organizations. Because remember, you want to snowball these. So you get a grant for $10,000. That's amazing. You want to develop a strong relationship so that you can request additional items from that organization to be able to support other grant applications you're putting together. You want to get their permission to be able to utilize this funding publicly. You want to get their permission to utilize it in other grant applications. You want to be able to be in a position to ask them for a letter of support. You may be in a looking at a larger grant opportunity where you can reach out to this grantor that just gave you money and say, "Hey, would you mind writing a quick statement as to why you have funded our organization? What is it that you saw?" It could just be a few sentences, it could be a few paragraphs, whatever you want. You've got content now, third-party content that you can take in. You can make that a deliverable in terms of a document upload. You can include it into testimonials. You can cherry pick it and you can put it somewhere in an application where you need a little bit of oomph in it. Okay, so the prompt and personalized thank you letter or the prompt and personalized phone call, that is going to start to build your credit with that organization. And then eventually you might want to cash in that credit and say, "Hey, I've got a favor to ask," right? If you've shown that you're going out of your way to meet the needs of that organization, they will be more likely to do the same for you. That's number one. The category is personalization. Number two, public recognition. Publicity, in most cases, although not all, is a positive thing for a foundation. Publicly acknowledging the grantor's contribution is typically an excellent way to show your appreciation. Where can you do this? Your website, your social media, your newsletter, your press release, your advertisement that you take out in radio, TV, um, or newspaper locally, your advertisement that you take out on Facebook or Google, okay, doing an ad celebrating this partnership that you have, this funding partnership. Doing mentions when you are interviewed for television, radio, podcast, whatever the case is, mentioning the organization. Okay. These are all forms of public. Oh, comments in a public forum. Okay. When you have the opportunity to speak in front of a group of people, even just including it as part of your story, as part of your presentation, not even highlighting it as its own sentence. It could be a clause in a sentence. Da 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 da. We're doing this amazing program, which, by the way, was really, really started because of XYZ Foundation. We are able to da 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 da. Right? You're just like you're acknowledging any way that you can. Okay, these are all options on your menu of how to do this. Okay, a public shout out serves two purposes. It shows gratitude and it also signals to other potential funders that your organization is transparent and collaborative and that your organization has the ability to receive grants. Okay, there is this idea out there, which is understandable where it comes from, which is that if I position my organization in a way that shows people that we have received grants, we will not receive more grants because those grantors and those donors will think, "Oh, they don't need the money." That is not backed up by anything. There is no study ever that says by showing that you are a strong organization receiving money, you will receive less money. It is actually the exact opposite. Funding organizations want to fund winners. They want to fund organizations that are strong. They don't want to bail out organizations whose ships are sinking and they always need help. Help, help. This terrible thing happened. We have to continue to service this community. Please throw money at us. We are a problem that needs to be solved. No, that is not a sustainable funding solution. So you want to be out there publicly telling folks you are getting grants. You are a grant getting organization that will attract more funders. That will attract more grantors. Any grantor of any sophistication knows that your grant money runs out. You're going to need more grant money to do interesting and cool and impactful things in your community. So don't worry, generally speaking, about being positioned as too strong of an organization or too well funded. It's extremely rare that that comes back. Okay. So that's number 2, public recognition. Number 3, reporting. Okay. So you have the personalization, you have the public aspect, and then you have what you are contractually obligated to do, which is the thing you said you would do plus reporting. Okay, acknowledging a grantor goes well beyond these thank yous, providing regular updates on how the funding is being used and the impact that it is having in the community is crucial. And most people don't think about this as acknowledgement. Okay, but any form of communication is a form of acknowledgement. So if I am a grantor and I give somebody $100,000 and I don't get any thank you letter. I don't get any public recognition. I just get the regular required updates. That's sort of bare minimum. Okay. Bare minimum, it means you are going to be forgotten about. Okay. Completely forgotten about. The updates and the reporting, that is another opportunity for you to shine. I like to think about the reporting as another grant application. Every report is another application for additional funding, whether it's from that organization, from somebody within that organization that they know something, another philanthropist or another organization, or an organizational referral, right, to another organization that would be able to fund more projects. Uh, I mean, it's just how it works. Beyond just meeting the reporting requirements, sharing success stories, tangible outcomes, pictures, videos, this builds trust and reinforces the relationship. It shows that you value their support and you're using their support wisely. Consider sending like personalized updates before the formal update is due. Again, if you can get cell phone numbers and you can do text messages, that's awesome. Just a quick update. We just completed X milestone. We're super excited. We'll include this all in the report, but I just want to let you know this is going so well. And hey, here's a picture of me and one of our clients in the community. So thankful for these services being provided, whatever the case is. Okay, so personalized, continuous, being top of mind, multi-channel, text, email, video, um, the reporting interface, if it's a portal that you're going into, all of these things are different ways that you're communicating and you're staying top of mind and you are being seen in a positive light with that organization. You want to be on time, not late for every report. You want to be as early as you can. But here's the thing about reports. The end of the quarter will happen and then the report will be due next week. So you typically don't work ahead too much on it. So one of the things you can do is after 2 months, if it's let's say a quarterly report, the first 2 months of the quarter have gone by, prepare the bulk of the report. You usually can prepare most of the narrative, if not all of the narrative, 2/3 the way through a reporting period. There's not much typically that changes in terms of the narrative on that report. get your template together, get everything together to be submitted, then as soon as the end of the month hits, you're going to have a calendar notification on your Google Calendar, Outlook, or whatever you're using that says it's time to complete this report. You complete it as soon as you possibly can. You get it to somebody else on your team to review. They review it, you make edits, and boom, it's done a week early, a few days early. You're not asking for extensions. You're not asking for anything other than just acknowledgement that you put it in early. Okay, so you're keeping the lines of communication open. Those are the three areas: prompt, personal communication, public recognition, and then the reporting. Okay, there's a free download with 7 additional tips for thinking about acknowledgement relating to a grant. You'll want to have these in your toolbox. Please check that out. When it comes to acknowledging grantors, do you have any other ideas? Do you have any other comments or concerns? Pop them in the comment section here. I'd love to read them and respond. Thank you so much for jumping into this video, and I will see you in the next one.